Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lights Out League Racing Season 25, Race 11, and what an absolute mare and start to the stream that was. We are at the Emilio Romanga Grand Prix in Imola, and I will get myself all settled. And we have had about 7 minutes already, and you can see there's some time set, and Portuguese showing his pace carried on from last week's race win and pole position. No, not pole position, it's key to Geezer. I'm lying again. He got fastest lap. Portuguese gets in 14.6 on provisional pole. Dan Morris just crossing the line on a 14.9. And what we'll do is we'll see if somebody is on a hot lap as we go around. Who's that coming out? It's Callum, who's coming out for his first lap. So we'll do a hot lap with Callum, who's a really super quick driver, as he'll start hot lap, open up that DLS and cross the start finish line, and that's actually the end of his lap. What he was planning, but he does take provisional pole with a 14.5% ahead of Portuguese, who is on an out lap. It's Noodles. We're going to do Noodles hot lap. So again, we will jump on board and try this again. DRS open, start finish line, just a little kink round turn. That's a turn 1, that is, even though it is on the straight. Heading down to turns 2, 3 and 4 of Tamburello, and you want to turn in, cut the corners as much as possible, but the RI high corners, avoid those yellow curves, sausage curbs, and go down to turn 5 and 6 via nerve. Flat out of turn 5 and then let off in turn 6, cut that corner, take as much curve at the exit as possible, and head down to Tozer to climb uphill, starting up the second sector. We may see 1 or 2 overtaking opportunities, whoever gets better traction off Tozer, but we'll head round turn 9 of Curacella, and a little kink of turns 11 and 12, the Acca Minerali, a highly popular and traditional corner. Again, an uphill exit of those as we end up sector 2, and a tricky chicane of turn 14, 15 of Alta. It depends on people's setup. They might take a low wing setup to go down the start finish straight. If they've got a higher one, they're going to be absolutely maximising these corners. We end up turn 17, 18 of Ravazza, open up the exit, turn 19 around here at the end, and he goes in as provisional P10 with a 118.9. Podolski on his first flying lap, as he's just coming round. A little bit shaky. Is he actually doing a hot lap? It said he's got a purple second sector is the game line, but looks like he's aborted this lap, so he's not going to be setting the fastest lap there. AJ is actually doing a proper lap. It looks like he had a warm down lap. Everyone is doing their first flying laps on softs. It looks a bit overcast. Is there a chance of rain coming? Is there rain coming in the race? Only the drivers will know, and it'll be a surprise to us. As AJ's just heading round Ackermanali now, and he's invalidated. And that's the thing about this track, there's going to be a high chance of 1 or 2 drivers invalidating. Terry's in the lead. Williams currently P7. Is he on another flying lap? We'll see in a second, as he is coming on like an early. Good exit, and he's 3/10 up, just above 3/10 up, which would get him up to P6 above Katamis. He needs to find a bit more time to get ahead of people like Hamadi and Adam. And he's invalidated on Ravazza. Easily done. It's a tricky track, this one. There's a high... I'm predicting there's going to be a lot of track limit penalties, as we're on with the second RB. So we've got 1 or 2 drivers missing this week. Kick Melody is missing in the Aston, so Podolski is filling in for him. Looper in the RB, so we're on centre back now, who is filling in for him as well. Kizagiza and Diogo are both absent from illness and work-related bloody work. If anything deserves an Italian hand gesture, it's work. He's just above 4/10 up, which is found plenty of time, which will get him, by the looks of it, up to P6. Can he find any extra time in the final sexter? I'm sexter. Hopefully he doesn't invalidate like Terry's did, and he hasn't. He's got a little bit of a slipstream off the Aston ahead of him, and he will cross the line and does go up to P7, so lost slightly bit of time, just slightly ahead behind Katami's, 6 thousandths ahead of Terry's. So great time from him. Alex Pixie has retired. That is me. I didn't press spectator, and Katamis has improved his time to 15.2, but not his position. Stays P6. Tristan has invalidated his time. Needs to get out of the way of drivers behind him, whoever's on a hot lap. This isn't a race, Tristan, remember. Move out the way and let drivers pass. I think that was Marty. It looks like Marty was on a hot lap, so I don't think he'll be too happy being hampered by Tristan there. Tristan's got off the track now, out of the way of drivers, but you've got to be aware of your mirrors. Look on your mini-map of drivers coming up, and if you're not on a hot lap, move out the way. If you are on a hot lap, then it's not an issue, as Marty is going to cross the line and goes provisional P13. I think he's got plenty more time to find. Maybe he's got to do another hot lap now, but we might see him again as Podolski is just coming around to end his second flying lap. Drivers need to get in and straight back out again if they want to set a final flying lap. And he's diving straight into the pits. Sergey just slightly ahead of his time. Could get him up to P9 if he carries on at this pace. I'm sure he'll find a bit more time. That was just after sector 1. As he navigates after Minerali. Gets good exit on the corner. Again, he says he's set the fastest sector 2. But as we know, this game is absolutely trash sometimes. As he just comes around with that. Around turn 18. Foot done a little bit shaky on the exit. I think he's found a little bit of extra time. Will he improve his position? He's up to P7 with 15.3. 1/10 behind Katamis, so great time from him. As we're on board with Amadi, which I think has just set a lap time. He has. He's gone up to P2 with a 14.5. Just 800ths behind Callum. I think he'd be quite chuffed with that. Missed a couple of weeks, he's been away. As we'll jump on with AJ, who's 13.4 seconds up, but he's invalidated again. There's a little bit of a shake on the Williams. Did the Williams hamper him at all? Or is he going to go for another lap? Drivers, I think, can find it tricky to get out of the way, but you have to, or you're going to get a quali ban for impeding on quali. And as I've got a football alert time, and West Ham have just taken the lead against Liverpool. That's absolute lols. So we'll see what Noodle can do. He's invalidated. Marty is 3 seconds down, so he's not going to improve. Terry's is half a tenth up, which will get him up to P8. Plenty of time to find. As he's just heading down to Minerali now. Such an iconic corner. Anyone knows this corner. They should know Tamburillo as well. And Ravazza, very, very well-known corners. As he's just coming around the final sector. Down to Ravazza. Don't invalidate this time, Terry. Looking all good at the moment. Puts his throttle pedal to the floor and gets himself up to P7, just above his teammate. 13 thousandths behind Catanese. We'll check how he's getting on. Check with AJ's ahead, I think, who's hasn't invalidated just yet. Ooh, it looked like he cut that chicane, but he's still valid this time as he heads down Ravazza. He's pushing hard because this is his last chance. Keep it on the track, he does. And he's going to cross the line and goes up to provisional P6. I don't think he's going to set another time. I don't think he's got enough fuel in his tank. Got P3 last week. He's going to have to come from at least P6 to get that this week. See how Tristan's getting on. He's 1.5 seconds up. And stayed P15 with a 20.1. We've got to go and ask them next, haven't we? Pula Podolski. Can he improve on his coming? He does. He goes up to P13 above Noodles. I don't think Noodles is in the pits. Marty's in the pits in Cygate. They're not going to improve on their times. Terrors is jumping in the pit, so he's done. Dan Morrison validated. He's not going to improve either. We've got Wesker, who's a 10th up. Has he found any extra time in the final sector? He has. He's up to P7 with a 15.2. The Alpines this week are fighting for the Constructors' Championship. They can win it this week if they end up 55 points as Adam goes up to P4 ahead of Dan. Got Callum who gets further, 14.2. But Portuguese eclipses that with a 14 flat and will start at the front of the grid. That was the Mercedes there crossing the line. We've got centre back who's jumping into the pit, so he's not going to improve. Pula Podolski's gone off and just jumped in the gravel, not going to improve either. It's Amadi now. And will stay P3 with 14.4. Catherine's go, but he's way down. He's not going to improve either. So this is your running order. Portuguese takes pole. As I was saying, yes. Liverpool have equalised if anyone's watching. At the end of this race, Alpine need a 55-point gap to clinch Constructors. They've currently got an 85 points. It's pretty much theirs, but it's not mathematically at the moment. And this is your... As Katami just slots in. We'll wait for his car to go in. Oh, a slurp of coffee, lovely, lovely. So, Portuguese on the front with a 14 flat, 2/10 ahead of Callum, who's joining him on the front row. Amadi and Adam on the second row. That's going to be hell of a battle. And Dan Morris and AJ on the third. Again, they've had some fights through this season. Wesker P7, Katamis P8, Terry's P9, and Cygate, his Williams teammate, P10. Centre back on his Lights Out League Racing debut, P11, Marty P12, Podolski 13, 14 for Noodles, and Tristan holding up the back of the grid. There's a 5-car train of Dutch drivers there. That's going to be quite intense too. As drivers now sorting out their strategies with their tyres, their fuel loads. For me, it'll be medium to hards. And if you can do the alternate on hards to mediums, and it'll come to you later in the race, but you've got to pit. As Wesker knew last week, he pit too late on the hards, and he should have he could have been with more contention if he pit a little bit earlier. Whoever's in the chat, Let me know who you think is going to win this race, who's going to be on your podium. I think I'm going to say Portuguese is going to take it again. He showed some good pace last week. Callum P2, and I'm going to go Adam P3. He's fighting for this constructors. He's already claimed, of course, the championship for this season. He's going to want the double, but there's going to be one or two that are going to be trying to halter his charge. Tristan starting the softs. He's going all racy to start with. Apparently I'm racing. We shall see. Portuguese, Amadi and Terry's all going for the ultimate strategy, and everyone else starting on the mediums. And Portuguese leads us round. Callum P2, Amadi P3, Adamako P4, joining him on the second row. Dan Morris P5, great qualifying from him in the McLaren team. AJ P6, Wesker P7 has got himself a podium this season at his home race of Austria. I've just realised Barcelona's not in. Where the fuck is Barcelona? You absolute scab. Chickened out last week on the 100% race and he's not here this week. Absolute nosebleed. Terry P9, Saget P10, centre back P11 going a little bit wide. Marty P12 joined by his Aston teammate for today, Podolski. Noodles P14, Tristan 15, and apparently I'm at the back. And I'm in a Mercedes. Piss off. No chance. Emilio Romanga Grand Prix, 4.9 kilometres anti-clockwise circuit. 19 corners, 9 to the right, 10 to the left. Just the one DRS zone down the start-finish straight. So if there's going to be any overtaking, it will be then. It's such an adrenaline pumping, the thrill ride. The middle sector's like a roller coaster, up and down the hills in the Tuscan countryside. It's such an old school track. So many of the sectors of the track are such there's not that much space on the track, as Terry's and Podolski invalidate. Can we get a decent camera here, Codemasters, please? It's all from the back. As it's 5 lights, it's lights out and away we go, and we're away. I don't know who's got a good enough start because it's not showing me. Adrian's got ahead of Dan. There we go. Callum and Amadi closing in on Portuguese. He's got a good start there. Callum's on the outside of turn 2. He's got the inside as he's coming out turn 4. But Portuguese has claimed the position. And AJ has managed to stay ahead of Dan Morris. There's a go side by side into Villeneuve. It's all straight. Everyone looks like they're going strong. Marcy's claimed 3 places off the start then. And it's all jostling. I think 1 or 2 have gone off. It's Wesker and centre back. They're both the biggest losers. Going off at Tosa. And all to do for them. You can overtake me, that's fine. Will it let me... and Amadi's got a corner cutting penalty already. I knew there'd be some penalties here. I didn't expect within the first lap. Jeez, and especially from him. He's such a seasoned driver. Very meticulous. And has already got... his Terry's has gone off on Ravazza. He's lost it on turn 17. And has ended up at the back now. He's on the hard zone, so he's got a long stint to go. As Podolski is in the pit. And Katami's overtaking Saget, getting himself up to P8. Has Podolski got damage? He does. He's having a wing change and jumping on those hards. Portuguese set the current fastest lap on his hard tyres. Managed to keep ahead of Callum. Amadi now settled with Adam chasing right up on his gearbox. Centre back overtaking me, getting up to P12. Terry's getting past Wesker, but goes very wide on coming out of Tosa. And who is that going very wide? Well, it's Wesker. Go on, Terry, you're going to take me. It's allowed. And you, Wesker, go on. Wonder, will it let me, it won't let me retire. My car's just stopped there. I'm sorry, guys. Absolute error from me. I've had a long day. I apologise. But I'm back for the races. Amadi showing his pace now. Getting potential fastest lap as DRS is available. Callum jumps into P1. Adam wasn't close enough to jump ahead of Amadi, but Dan Morris has got back ahead of AJ. Marty up to P7. And Wesker gets an Italian hand gesture and retires in the pit lane already. What's up with this guy? Retiring after lap 3. Jeez. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. And Tristan has a bit of an issue. Coming up turn 4. AJ's another one getting an early track limits penalty. Chasing Dan Morris. As Ed Marty's done well to get up to P7. And just over a second behind Dan and AJ. So if he can get within their DRS, he'll be absolutely laughing. Stargate, the latest one. Not Tristan again. Tristan struggling to turn in. Callum crossed the line, getting current fastest lap. Our Portuguese Amadi and Adamaco close enough to make a move. Portuguese is looking, but we get down to turn 2. He's not quite there, but Katniss and Cygate battling hard. And Amadi getting another track limit. It's unlike him. Has he got his brother driving for him today? Katniss and Cygate's lost a couple of positions down the start-finish show. Got a good battle here between Katniss, Noodles and Cygate. I'm sure we'll see them switching positions. Cygate had an early exit from last week's 100% British Grand Prix. There's Podolski jumping ahead of Tristan. Tristan's jumped into the pits. He's got a bit of damage, I think, and getting off those soft tyres early, getting a free fresh wing. He'll have to pit again off those mediums. It won't last 28 laps. As we've still got this 4-car train for the lead. Amadi will struggle to get that podium with the current car positions with those penalties, but it'll be a good battle. Portuguese closing in. He's got the DRS open like a letterbox. You've got mail. And gets himself back up to P1. Adam not close enough. Marty getting past AJ up to P6. Both been dropped by Dan Morris. So Dan showing some fantastic pace as well. Use the yellow flag for, I think, the centre back further back, I think it is. And United 1-0 up. Christian Eriksen, the absolute pensioner. Take that all day long. Dan Morris running strong. It's quite a bit comfortable now. Got a gap between the cars ahead and behind. So he just needs to concentrate on his own race for now. Still early stages. No stupid errors. It'll be a good finish from him. I think he'll be happy finishing P5. Good finish from Ericsson, that. Sometimes Cygate has been dropped slightly between the 2 cars ahead. Cygate another one on the track limits list. Got further back. Been sent back again. Currently running P11 on his own race. There's a few gaps with the cars behind, especially. All got a bit of gaps. They just need to find a car with DRS. Noodles chasing Katami's. Katami's has probably got really low wings. As AJ gets another track limits. They're piling up for some drivers now. He's closing in on Marty, not letting him go. Jumps onto his gearbox, climb up closer. A little bit of lost traction from AJ, which will hamper his overtaking opportunity up the hill. McGee now, his hard tyres struggling to keep with the mediums of Callum. Katami's another one on the track limits list, showing that drivers are pushing hard. First F1 race we had here was 1963, but the actual F1 championship was 1980. I've been on the calendar to 2006, where it was classed as a San Marino Grand Prix. It's now referred to as Emiliano Romagna, and under the Italy bracket. Is that me that's gone off? No, it's Tristan again, struggling to keep it on the track. Keep going, my friend. As Noodles jumps Katami's down to turn 2, keeps his car ahead. Great overtake from him. Portuguese is that Tristan again, and Tristan's out. Tristan's out. It doesn't look like a safety car's coming out. It's a yellow flag. Podolski's just flying off a Ravazza, keeping his car going. And Tristan's been just struggled, but I think from where his position was, there's no safety car out. Hello Tristan, you alright mate? Yeah, just have another mare. Yes. It's fine, I'm not even racing mate, it's just my car. It's an AI, so don't worry, I'm not racing. I've had an absolute mare, and I didn't put myself as a spectator in the original lobby, so my car's on there, but I'm not actually racing, so don't worry. But did you destroy your car from hitting me, or did you just? Katami's just jumping ahead of Noodles, back down to turn 2. It's better doing comms anyway, less pressure. Are you fresh on a wheel? Did you say? Okay. Just you struggle to keep it on track sometimes. Yeah, I normally do it. Amadi getting another track limit. I think he's got 9 seconds already after lap 8. He's normally a really strict driver and keeps it on the track. Adam tried to overtake Amadi on Ravazza, and ends up going into the gravel. He's got Dan Morris all over him now, and Dan's going really well in the McLaren. He's not very confident on his own pace, but currently running P5, chasing down the championship winner. Adam managed to stay ahead. Dan knows he's not one to stick his nose in. He knows where his battles are. Adam managed to keep P4, but he's dropped back a bit from Amadi. Portuguese has shown his pace from last week. He's having a bit of battle with Adam at Silverstone, but he's now 3 seconds ahead of Callum, and Callum's no slouch. Oh, I do believe Callum said he's running no line today, so that might be a contributing factor. Noodles and Katami's not close enough to make that overtake there. Katami's is a defensive bridge though. He is a difficult one to overtake as they're hitting outer chicane. Noodles is all over his gearbox though, so Katami's is under threat down the start finish. Noodles going to push him around with Vatsa. Katami's with a little bit of a wiggle on the exit. It's going to hamper his. Marty's in the pit first. Oh, Italian hand gesture. Speeding in the pit lane. Oh my guy. Noodles has got. Yeah. Yeah, it was a matter of time, that one. Oh, Marty. Centre back jumping in as well. And Portuguese, all these penalties piling up. I didn't mention Callum got his earlier. But that'll put Adam in good stead if he can close in on those front runners. That comes out in P12. Everyone doing the mediums to hards. It's 22 laps on hards. It's still tricky. AJ's struggling to keep it on track as well. He showed that in qualifying. He invalidated 2 of his hot runs and managed to get a hot lap on the final run, but he's showing that he's still struggling to keep it on the track. Ooh! Good composure. Dan just driving through me. I felt that. It was nice. Katamise has managed to get his position back up to P7 from Noodles. He's just gone off out the last corner of Tamburello. Looks like it. He wasn't having the best races with his penalties. Dan gets another one, adds to the list. More drivers with penalties now than those that don't. And those that don't will be capitalised. Oh, and as we say, Adamato's just got one as well. Sygate coming off on Pilatella. It's a really strange one to actually lose control of as his teammate goes past. It's just a high-speed corner, but I think if it's one, this track's known for its curbs that if you just touch them slightly and you're off to Narnia. And Sygate's done it on very oh, you're joking. No, he's been overtaken, I think. He's been overtaken by Callum down the start finish. Italian hand gesture for AJ, and he's called it a day. He's called it a day. The amount of penalties and the spin, I think the spin just did it for him. He's had enough. Well, we award everybody points. But it's more points for Marty. As he's just coming round down to turn 2. And he's chasing down Noodles. These two having a good battle, doing and throwing. We've got 4 drivers left now, penalty free. If a safety car comes, then they'll be the ones that'll profit from it. Portuguese retakes P1. Down the start finish, these two having their own little fight. Almadi on the alternate strategy, just running his own race for now, knows that he'll have a stronger second stint. And as I say that, he doesn't help himself again. He'll probably disqualify himself before the end. Katami's getting back up to P6 now. And we probably shouldn't put focus on these drivers, because every time we do, they end up getting a penalty. Katami's just getting himself another one. And Noodles sticking with. I think he'll be actually loving this challenge. Actually, like I said earlier, Katami's drives like a big, wide American fridge. Defends hard, and Noodles managing to keep with him and get past. Loses back in slightly around Piratella. Well, there's a lot of corners that you've got to put your foot down and not think that you're going to lose it. You've got to trust your car and your tyres. Piratella is one of them, which Sygate, I think, his tyres were probably a bit more worn than he expected and lost it a bit, but everyone is out. Is that someone else just gone in? So Noodles going in the pits and looking to do an undercut on Katamis. Good stop from him. Podolski joining the penalty list. Katamis is known to extend his tyre length. He might be looking potentially doing mediums to softs. I don't know if that's possible on this track. I think tyre wear is a little bit tricky with the high-speed corners. When you go down around Essa Minerali, it puts a load of pressure, especially in your rear left. Oh yeah, it's, I said earlier in the stream, especially Sector 2, once you go uphill after Tosa, that is an absolute roller coaster ride. Up and then downhill and up and then downhill. Podolski's jumping in the tracks in the pits now. I think it's just the tyre change though. I don't think he had a wing change earlier. As Callum's jumped in, Adams jumped in as well, followed him. Both going onto the hards. Actually looking to do a early undercut. Portuguese and Amadee, of course, on the alternate strategy. So we'll be completely racy near the end. As Katamis goes through as well, so still yet to pit. We'll get out just ahead of Terry's. You don't want to be stuck behind too many drivers. Everyone's a bit spaced at the moment. It's Alex picks at the end, going strong. Portuguese got 5.7 seconds ahead of Amadee. He's been away a couple of weeks, so I don't know if he's had much time to put many laps in. He's one of these natural drivers though. He can just jump on and do a couple of laps and then he's got his rhythm. I think he struggled this week with track limits. Dan Morris now in. And Noodles joins the list. Did he go wide? Tozer, was it? Turn 7, yeah. Oh, and Katamis and Callum tried to go side by side on turn 2 on the start of Tamburello, and Katamis has come worse off. He's got down to P5. Has he got any damage? It might have just been Codemasters carbon fibre. His wing looks okay to me, so he should be able to carry on. Callum came out side by side with Katamis. And yes, not enough room left. So front 2 drivers still yet to pit. Portuguese has got a good 27 seconds on Callum. I think it's quite a long pit lane there, this one, isn't it? I think it's about 28 seconds, yeah, so Callum will potentially undercut Portuguese, but Portuguese will be jumping on those mediums. It doesn't look like he's slowing down that much. Amadee has caught by about a second. That free air has helped Amadee a bit. His battles with Adamaco. His battles with himself, actually, with his penalty count. He's still going. Yeah, like I said, he's one to that he'll just get as much out of the tyres as possible, get him to like 90% wear or something, and then jump in. That's why he frustrates a lot of drivers, because he's very good at defending, places his car on the right places on the road, but his tyres are absolutely dead. So he's got Dan Morris who's got to tackle him, who's closed in on him up to Piratella. Oh, like a nice rink. Dan Morris is going to be frustrated like hell. Catanese cuts the corner, trying to keep his car on the track. Dan's going to wait until the start finish, I think. There's no point in trying to lunge in on a corner. Catanese's car is skidding everywhere. It would be wise to dive in now and just suck up. He won't be able to do mediums and then softs. His tyres will be screaming. And we'll have DRS. His car, he's doing it. I told you he does it. He's pushing he's squeezing his ERS to hell. Is Dan close enough to make the move? He's going to look on the inside. Oh, Catanese leaves him plenty of room, ends up going off the track because he couldn't brake. He broke too late. It's very respectful driving from him there, making sure he left plenty of room. Those brakes just wouldn't work. And Dan takes the position. Great driving from him, up to P5. His latest penalty taker. McToes are now 3.6 behind Catanese. Next one to close in. He is, of course, on some old hards and will be jumping onto the mediums. So, to be fair, I think Terry's may jump Catanese with the strategies, because he'll have to jump on the mediums. Catherine's going to have to go on the hards unless he runs out, stays on track until the start. There's Armadillo now for jumping into the pits. Portuguese has still stayed out. Amadis come out ahead of Adamaco, 6/10 ahead. Terry's has now jumped into the pits. And we'll look to do an undercut on Catanese, and I think he'll have an easy undercut with Catanese having to jump on some hards as well. His teammate just coming around Rabatza. Where's Terry's coming out? He's just coming down the end of the pit lane. I think Sygate might just get ahead. He does. Terry's will be on fresh mediums. If he catches up to Sygate, I'm sure Sygate will let him go. Team orders. Had him another penalty. Again, a lot of these drivers that are known not to get penalties are getting prone to them. Callum will jump Portuguese. He's just coming down the start finish. Portuguese on his fresh mediums. He'll be able to push like crazy with only 12 laps to do on them. That was expected, but Callum's already done 5 laps on hards. This is Portuguese's to lose. And Amadis has also got a gap ahead of Adamaco out of DRS. Who's Portuguese? No, I think 12 laps with less fuel in the car, he'd be able to push. Because you look at someone like Catamese now, who's done 19 laps on his current mediums. I know he's an absolute psychopath, but he's managed to get in that distance. 12 laps, he'll push. And I don't look at penalties yet. I think they've both got 3 seconds, if I do recall. I think so. Marcy, mentioned him earlier, just running a nice steady race, P7. Looking to catch Catamese. Catamese, I think, is doing mediums to softs. He has to with staying out this long, otherwise he's absolutely mental. But he should be in the next 1 or 2 laps and jump on those softs. But I think he's lost so much time just by staying out. Centre back here, pitted earlier on going to those hards. They should be able to go to the end, but no penalties. So if he can stay with drivers ahead, He's just playing a couple of positions on track as Marty, as Catanese goes off, I think again, same as before, down Tempranillo side by side and tried to defend, give plenty of room for Marty, and then going off the track because he's braking too late and his tyres just don't have the grip as Noodles gets past Catanese as well. And crucially, another penalty for Callum. I'll tell you what. Portuguese making the overtake now on Callum, getting up to P1. Callum's just got another 3-second penalty, so that will give Portuguese an extra bit of confidence that he's going to win this race. He's got to be in now, surely. He's struggling. If ever there was a sign that you need to pit, it's now. As Marty's jumping as well. I think he's going on to some softs himself. It is for Catanese. I think Marty's going for a 2-stopper. He's getting rid of his 10-second penalty as well. I forgot he had that from speeding. There's an opportunity for both of these to get a fastest lap. It's nice to have that on your standings. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. He's just, if anything, he's from the season. I've got a fastest lap. And as we say that, Portuguese 15.1 provisional fastest lap on his fresh mediums has already got a 1. Oh my God. Was that alveolar nerve then? Well, yeah, he's 3 seconds behind Perry's, where you can see he's gradually gaining. He just needs to keep it on the track, stop getting penalties. He can push. He's got 10 laps on soft, so he can push as much as he wants, but he's just going to keep it on the track. But in regards to for your final standings, staying out that long on those mediums was just hampered him. They were useless tyres. Those tyres would have been as useful as a waterproof tea bag. Centre back's caught up to Noodles. He's on older hard as well. Stan gets another penalty. Penalties are racking up more than a snooker hall. Just dropped out of DRS. I don't think he'll get it now. He did pull in, but Noodles had better traction off Alta. Callum's now 2.2 seconds behind Portuguese. Portuguese showing his pace. I think he tends to sandbag sometimes just for his own enjoyment. Yeah, well, it depends on how serious you want to take pre-season, because the pre-season race that we have, it depicts who can choose their car and teammates and things, so they've got to kind of take it seriously if they want that option. Also, it's if they actually decide to turn up. So sorry. Sorry. Callum 2.4. Amity currently running P3, but he does have those penalties. Adam gets another one though, as he's closing in on the Aston Martin of Paul Podolski. his ghosted car. And he's going through him. Someone will enjoy that. Podolski just slowing down a bit to let him through. Martin P11. He probably, to be fair, I think he probably would have finished a similar time with the length of tyres he had and that 10-second penalty. So, it's damage limitation for him. Catanese has closed in on Terry's now 1.7 seconds. If I was on softs, I'd probably be closing at a faster rate than knots, but I think his setup's more set up for this one straight than the rest of the track. You can see he's just gaining another 3/10 down the straight. I think he did, but he's braking. I think he just bulleted off the track. Back. Just staying just out of DRS. He's just dropped back a little bit. And Sygate has got to track limits, and who's gone off? It's a yellow flag for it's an Aston. It's Paul Podolski gone off just out of Timbrella. DJ Khaled, another one. So he is just closing the gap on Terry's, but it may be all in vain if he keeps racking his penalties up. It looks Aston, not Podolski, it was Marty that time. Out of outer. Just lost a few, I think he's lost about 8 seconds. Just lost it on the exit of the chicane. Did he get any damage? We'll have a look when he's retiring. I think he probably did get some damage. And Podolski's gone in as well, so that's 0 points for the Aston. No, he's lost it. He's lost it on the exit of Ravazza. And a safety car is out. We've got a safety car out on lap 24. I think we're going to see a load of people diving the pits now for softs. And you know what that means? It means that these penalties will play a big part. I don't want to have a look at the penalties. I don't want to have a look because Noodles, centre-back, are in. If anything, Catamese may not go in. He's already on soft, but it'll probably make sense for him to go on some fresh softs. Sygate's come round. Everyone will have to jump in the pits. It'd be silly not to. You'll be a sitting duck at the safety car restart. I didn't know if we would see one, and we have. This spices this end of the race up then. We're going to pretty much have like a 4 or 5 lap sprint race. Did Terry's have a penalty? Maybe Terry's had a stop go penalty. No. Liverpool's just... Has Amadi gone through? Amadi stayed out. He's gone for track position. And what's going on with the cars? Are they things people like Catamese and Terry's have both been lapped. So they're stuck behind the safety car restart. So that actually helps Amadi because he'll have a 2-car buffer from Portuguese. Because you can't overtake until the finish timeline. Yeah, that safety car would have hit on Terry's, to be fair. They would have at least tried to get past the safety car. And that's Amadi's issue, Amadi's fault. If Amadi had gone in the pits they would have gone past the safety car. Armadi's fucked him over. From his choice of strategy, but it's his prerogative, and he leads the race now. And I think, where are we now? It's going to go round again. So we're going to have, I think we'll have a 3-lap sprint to the end, which only means one thing: carnage. It's gonna be like a fox in a hen house going down to turn 2. What's happened? Has he just lost it on turn 18? Oh my god! I can't see where he's crashed though. Is it coming out of Ravazza? Or has he hit the pit entry? Oh, what a melon! What a melon! Oh, it's always a killer when there's a couple of laps to go. I can't blame it on his tyres. He had fresher tyres. Was that Callum? One of the McLarens squeaked on the tyres. Nice. Take that. So currently, just waiting for Frygate to catch up to the pack, and I have my car to contend with. Sorry. Just waiting for Frygate to catch up. So safety car should be in this lap, and it should tell us any time now. If it is, it'll be a late call. I reckon it'll go around again, yeah, waiting for Frygate. Or it'll be a really, really late call. It's strange, you know. Strange. I don't know if I can do both. It's going around again, so we will have a 2-lap sprint to the finish. And let's give some real confidence then. So Armadi with 15-second penalty, so he's going to drop quite a lot. Portugal's got 3, Callum's got 6, Adam's got 9, Dan's got 6, so he's going to be looking potentially to try and get himself. He could potentially get a podium by Morris here. Noodle's got 3 seconds. The same for him and centre back. They're all, if they can stay with these front runners, could all potentially get a podium. And I think Dan Morris will be absolutely chuffed, because especially like the first 4 races, I think he got P4 every single time, and he'll be absolutely chuffed to get himself on. And it goes to the McLaren team. There's some decent points available for McLaren. These are RB and Williams with Adamaco, the lone Alpine driver. I can't work it out now, but they were potentially running for winning the constructors. All set in stone. The race, I think Portuguese can get the win. I think he's still got to get past Terry's, but his penalties are better than the cars around him. He's just got to not, because even if Callum gets past him, he's got to get within 3 seconds. And the safety car is in this lap. We do have a 2-lap sprint. Portuguese does have that car ahead of him of Terry's to get past before. What's going on there? Can it do that? Is it going to give... I don't know. I think... Has Portuguese managed to get past, but the Williams has had to stay behind? I'd say if it dropped further behind, all the cars around would have got a penalty. But anyway, We're away. Amadi has stayed ahead. He's got Portuguese chasing him on the outside, going down turn 2. Portuguese doesn't fight. Amadi doesn't fight it. On the older mediums, we've got a yellow flag. Who is it that's gone off? It's Cygate, I think, and my car. And Adamako has dropped down a couple of places. He's gone off out of the second corner of Villeneuve into the gravel. He's down to P7. And that does throw the constructors into play for next week if he keeps this position. I'll tell you what that does do. Dan Morris up to P4. Come on, Dan. He's within DRS of Callum ahead of him. No, he isn't. Callum's ahead of Amadi. That Noodles has got... oh, I don't know. I don't want to look at penalties again. But we will potentially have a first-time podium for race 11 as we go round and start the final lap. Portuguese is ahead with Amadi a second behind. DRS is enabled, but it doesn't matter because no one's going to have it because this is the final lap. Callum currently P3. We would not have net P2. Dan Morris and Noodles behind, both chasing for that podium. Centre back P6 has been dropped out of the DRS. Adam P7, who's just, I think he's just content now with P7. I don't think he'll be, I think if it was early in the season. Callum taking P2 on track from Amadi down on Tosa. And he's got Amadi pushing him up the hill. There's nothing better than taking the position on track. And Amadi, like I said, is not going to fight it. He knows he's got loads of penalties. I was to say Adam would probably be raging if it was earlier in the season, but he's got his championship already. Knows there's another race next week to claim that constructors as well. But we will jump back on to Portuguese coming round with Atsa. It's not the final corner because the last one's a kink, but he will cross the line, take the race win, and takes the fastest lap as well currently. Will anyone else claim that? Callum coming home P2. Noodles getting P2. Jumping ahead on penalties. Callum P3. Centre back P4. I'm sorry. Oh, it's gone. That's his car. Smashes and gets P5. And it shows what how effective penalties can be. Noodles getting P2. And I'd have to reflect that, but at the moment I'd probably join the game in that of getting his first podium for Lights Out League Racing and getting P2. As showing the podium. Portuguese on the top step. Noodles P2. Callum coming home in P3. And we're not going to watch much more of that because the game doesn't like doing both. Penalties galore. And congratulations, Noodles. Well done. That's Portuguese getting the clean sweep. Pole, win, and fastest lap. Yeah, Noodles last to podium, of course. I forgot you near the back, so well done. From P14 to P2. So I potentially would give him my initial driver of the day. Callum coming home P3. Centre back for Lights Out League Racing debut. Getting P4 from P11. Well done to you. Dan Morris P5. Start and finish there. Adam Mako P6. Jumping up on penalties, Amadi P7. Cygate going up from P10 to P8. I think he'll be quite chuffed with that. And his teammate behind P9. Start and finish there. I get a P10. Well done to me. And then Katamis, Martys, Podolski, AJ, Tristan and Wesker all retiring. Or DNFing. Katamis driving into the pit lane. And pit entrance. A rookie error from him. And that means no points from Haas. Quite eventful, that one. I thought it was just penalties pinging here and there, but safety car right at the end threw a spanner in the works and threw up a mixed bag of a podium. So, what did you think of that?
I think there's more action than this one than the actual Grand Prix of the weekend.
Well, yeah, I actually napped on that one. I was knackered anyway, but yeah, it wasn't great. Hopefully, um, what's it in 3 weeks? What's the next one in 3 weeks?
US.
It is Kota, isn't it? Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that should hopefully provide a bit more action, and we'll probably get a bit more action next week at our season finale, race 12 at Abu Dhabi, at the Yas Queen Marina, and it's Alpine going for constructors. I can't say if they've clinched it today without doing some figures, but it's a bit late to do that now. Let's just say it's all in the air for next week. It's a Lights Out League Racing. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been eventful, and like I said, it's the last one, so we want as many people watching next week. Thank you for joining us. Peace out.